He definitely sounds like the type that would be saying behind closed doors. He need to worry about his own damn people. That's what he need to worry about.
But this is the point. He was only talking about white people in the video.
Natural, are you racist?
No, I'm not racist.
How do you know?
Because I'm not racist.
But how do you know? And so it's one thing to say what you think, and then it's another thing to say what was being said. That leads me to believe that you want them to be racist. True. So you want to apply it as a construct for him. But when you start to talk about yourself, you want to look at it from an individual perspective.
We're smart enough to infer this, Anton. You're smart. No, I know you are. We're smart enough to infer this.
Nope. This is not about us. This is about you. There is no group that is more demonized than the white man in America.
Oh. We're not going to discount our ancestors, and we're not going to discount history here. We're not going to discount that. That's all I was saying.
We talking about you. Ooh. When have you ever been a slave?
Oh.
All right, this might hurt some feelings, but whatever. I was just scrolling through my feed and I saw a couple of posts about how white people have no culture. And I'm just over this white guilt, white shame type stuff. I'm not advocating for white supremacy. I'm just advocating the end of white silence and the end of white guilt and the end of white shame, because our culture participated in nothing that your culture hadn't participated in previously. We didn't start slavery, but we damn sure ended it. And the only place that slavery still exists are in people of color societies in Africa and the Middle East. The Vikings figured out how to circumnavigate the globe before the Islamic world ever figured out how to get their feet wet. It wasn't us that was going into Africa and pulling the slaves out. It was other Africans grabbing them and enslaving them. We invented democracy. We invented the constitutional republic. The bubonic plague wiped out half of Europe. And what did we do? We got together and discovered Western medicine and inoculations and vaccines. I'm not saying that we're better than you, but we're damn sure not worse. There are 4 major ethnic groups in this planet. There are black people, white people, Asian people, and Hispanic people. And we are the smallest. And we are the only group that you're demanding shut up. And because we're not doing it anymore, you're just going to scream racist louder and louder and louder. And we are done caring. We are not ashamed of who we are. We are not better than you, but we're damn sure no worse. And if we're so freaking terrible, then why? Why does the entire Eastern world flock to countries that we created? Answer me that.
Oh, snap.
You can't be serious, my brother. If I was in that pickup truck next to him, I say, you can't be serious, man. You got it good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about black people calling you anything. Don't worry. We gotta worry about.
He just need to worry about his own damn people. That's what he need to worry about.
But this is the point. Yeah, he was only talking about white people in the video. Like, I'm just so confused at what video y'all watched. What did y'all watch?
He was talking about us crying. He was talking about us crying, and also about us saying that we've done great things. And we have done great things. We have done great things, Aaliyah. I don't know where you come from, but my background, I got politicians from the 1800s from Reconstruction in my family, girl.
You're talking about nothing. Like, nobody is talking about that right now. Like,
yeah, if you really think about what the video said, he was just pointing out the guilt that white people are supposed to face, the shame that they're supposed to face, and he just don't want to be silent anymore. You got to think about it. White people have been victimized for like the whole majority of the United States being established or whatnot. Anywhere from roots on to now, white people have always been demonized as a villain, just being honest.
He's saying he's not talking about that nothing. No, you ain't gonna overtalk me. He said.
Nobody said anything about black people or their accomplishments or anything like that.
I know, but you don't want to hear that.
Like, I just don't understand.
You don't want to hear that.
Why are you making this conversation about black people? Why is this about black people when it says at the bottom, white people tired of being silent, justified or not? Like, I don't see black people in the title.
If you're tired of being silent, don't be silent. What else could you say?
Look. He said what he said.
Well, you're calling them racist. He just sat here and said that the guy is basically mad that he can't call no more.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know.
And see, that's extreme at that point, because how can you insinuate that he wants to call someone iggas? No, you gotta think about it. White people be getting blamed for things that the current ones have not done. Whether we can say the ancestors have done certain things, we all know the history. But at the same time, that's like me being born a white kid and I'm getting blamed for some stuff I never did before. That could be problematic for someone. I understand that.
So how did you get that from Natural? How did you get that from the video though? I'm confused.
I don't know what video y'all were watching. Maybe
that's what I got from the video. He said that he's saying they not the best people, but they damn sure better than us. That's what I got from the video.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, but hold on. Let's slow down for a minute. Let's slow down for a minute. Natural, are you racist?
No, I'm not racist.
How do you know?
Because I'm not racist.
How do you know?
I don't think there's a way for me to go ahead and tell anybody that I'm not racist. I just don't think I'm racist.
You have to.
But okay, so let me refine a question. How do you define racism?
I define racism as a construct, as a system. A person can be prejudiced. I don't really call people racist though. But if we're talking about this gentleman that was talking in the video, he definitely sounded like the type that would be saying behind closed doors. So why wouldn't we be able to make the same assumption about you being racist if you're going based off of what it sounds like? Hold on. Go ahead.
Based off,
this brother also has a light up hat on. I've never seen someone with a light up fitted hat on. Let's understand that at this point now.
What it sounds like versus based off of what was said.
Because I'm not going around saying that we're better than anybody else and sitting there saying that we're tired.
You didn't say that. But see, that's the reason why I asked you if you were racist, because you did the thing that women do, right? You heard what you wanted to hear instead of hearing what was communicated. And so it's one thing to say what you think, and then it's another thing to say what was being said.
True.
So that's why I asked you if you was racist, because if somebody automatically translates what somebody says into being something completely different than what they communicated, that leads me to believe that you want them to be racist, which means that you're probably projecting a level of racism.
Yes.
Or at the very least, hatred towards the fact that you don't necessarily care for what they represent.
And think about it like this. You're mad at someone who has done nothing immediately harmful to you. Think about that. We talking about certain colors of people that have not even interacted with us. We're just saying that, it's automatically hate on sight. Yo, I can't group all of them together, just like they shouldn't group all us together. It should still be vice versa. It should be reciprocal in that light.
I have actually, I'm not racist. I know that for a fact. I don't have any problem with white people saying what they want to say. But if you're going to come on the internet, and we're going to discuss a video of this guy in a truck and him saying what he said, I have every right to go ahead and judge that video.
You absolutely do, but you don't have the right to redefine what somebody said. What was said. You can't change. Hold on.
I took from it though.
You can't change what somebody says to mean something completely different than what they said. Like there's a difference between an opinion and a fact.
Yes.
And we can't just hear what we want to hear. We gotta actually.
Okay, well, what I took from it, Anton, is that he said a lot of things that were wrong, even historically. He said a lot of historically wrong things too.
Like what?
The Vikings sailed to the new world before anybody else did.
Okay, what if they actually did? How can you fact check that? How can you actually fact check? And if they did, who cares? That does not shape your reality one bit on who did what first. I think sometimes we do have a problem on black people always having to be first to something. We always want to win that race. Oh, we created medicine first. We created the modern way to bathe and take care of yourself first. We created mathematics first. Who cares if we're not capitalizing on it in 2025?
He did say that. He also he was projecting.
No.
Anton, hold on. Let me speak. I'll let you speak. Let me speak now.
No. I started to listen for 20 minutes. I observed you. But see, the problem with what you're doing right now, and this is what I like to call people out on, is you diverting away from the conversation that we were originally having. I asked you what you define racism is, and you said it was a construct. Now you're saying that you don't believe that you're racist based off of what? And that's why I asked you,
well,
do you think that you are racist? Because if it's based off of a construct, then how are you defining it from an individual perspective?
Well, if I'm going to base it off of it being a construct, then I actually don't have the power to be racist.
Exactly.
Well, I didn't say that your definition was right. I'm asking you to substantiate your argument. And the problem with your argument is that you're changing the definition to mean something different depending on who you're applying it to.
True.
So you want to apply it as a construct for him, but when you start to talk about yourself, you want to look at it from an individual perspective. But you're trying to justify your argument, but you're not being equal across the board.
I didn't
That's
call
why
this
I asked the question of are you racist, and then I asked you to define it, but you can't change the definition.
I didn't call him a racist, though, Anton.
You can't change the definition to mean something different when you want it to mean something different.
You saying he sounds like he would want to say that still insinuates that he possibly would be racist, but then you flip that back on yourself. That means that you would be inherently racist as well because you're projecting your own thoughts onto what he would do. It's still the exact same thing. See, sometimes we don't want to point at ourselves and say, damn, I'm casting a stone on someone who I don't know what he's really thinking. I'm just going to project it. I reacted to a video just a second ago, probably a day or so ago, where a female was saying in the workplace that, you know, guys have that same feeling when they're around white guys, that they feel like white people looking at them like, oh, I'm black and this and that. I'm not projecting that on myself. I'm going to go into it knowing that I understand what I'm talking about and I understand what I'm saying, instead of just thinking someone's looking at my skin color. Because if I go into it like that, that's self-detrimental. Like, that's a problem.
Anton,
Racism.
I said that it sounds like, in my opinion of him, is something that doesn't necessarily mean that is what it is.
So you can't broadly apply it. You can't ask if he's racist and you're racist, but then apply the same definition of both. Is that what you're saying to me?
I don't make videos about race online.
It's a basic question.
You still commenting on it.
That's my answer. I don't make.
Can you apply the same definition across the board?
I could, but we're talking about his video, Anton.
Right.
If this man didn't make a video and I saw him walking down the street, I would not think anything else otherwise. I wouldn't think he was a racist.
It doesn't matter.
If somebody makes a video, now I still don't think he might be a racist, but that's my opinion. My opinion is
that now you're changing it.
No, my opinion is that he has some sort of issues with black people. That doesn't necessarily mean he's a racist.
Did that?
But
that's true.
He has clearly he has.
I think he said.
Hold on. Let him cook. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, clearly he has issues with black people. If we're gonna sit there and deny that, then I will just shut up.
I am gonna deny that because he didn't say anything. One thing he didn't mention, and again, this is why we have to be careful with what we say, and we have to have great listening skills, is he never said anything about black people.
He didn't.
And can I just mention?
Wait. He never said anything about black people.
Do you have to say something about black people to express your feelings towards a certain group? I'll give
Natural this. The only thing he did insinuate that slavery still continues in Africa. So of course we can kind of correlate that when he mentioned slavery, he could be talking about American blacks going through slavery and maybe pointing the finger at white people to say that, hey, this still happening in Africa, so why are we pointing the finger at white people or whatnot? So I can still insinuate and say that, yes, he probably is talking about American blacks.
I could go ahead and go off on a tangent and express things.
How did you translate that him specifically talking about black people when he never said nothing about black people?
Yeah. Why is
he tired?
Why is he tired?
Slavery has been in every single country. Okay, every group of people. You can't just pick and choose.
You're right. I'm agreeing with you. I know history. I definitely know history. But why is he making this video, and why is he upset? Why does he feel like he's being silenced? Clearly, it's a problem with black people. We're smart enough to infer this, Anton. You're smart. I know you are. We're smart enough to infer this.
No. This is not about us. This is about you. And I'm asking you to substantiate your argument. I don't think that he was wrong. I don't think that he was wrong,
Anton. That you're actually trying to make me take a side of an argument that I wasn't actually taking originally.
You took the side of an argument. You defined racism as a construct, and then I asked you if you were racist, and then you changed the definition of racism depending on what it is that we're talking about.
I disagree.
Natural definitely pulled us into a debate at this point. You got to be careful on how you say certain things. You said, like, it looks like he wants to say the N-word. Now you insinuating that this guy is possibly racist. Now we got to dive into your characteristics and your thought process to see if you're racist. This is where the debate and the clash comes into it at.
That's fair, but it doesn't change. Listen, the tape is the tape. And so, when we replay this back, then it's gonna show that you're disagreeing with yourself then, because you changed the definition of racism depending on what we were talking about. Now, the fact of the matter is that I believe that he's right, because I don't understand how a group of people, whoever they are, whether you Asian, Hispanic, Black, whatever, white apologists, all across the board, I'm still trying to understand what y'all so upset about, especially living here in America.
Look, you believe
there is no group
right?
that is more demonized.
What's he right on? Please,
there is no group that is more demonized than the white man in America.
Hold on. He has a point. Think about it, y'all. White people have been demonized for goddamn 60, 70, 80 years in America. I mean, they've been the boogeyman if you really think about it. Like, American culture, they have to stand on that they have been the ones that have enslaved blacks. They're a detriment to blacks. They've stolen communities, money, babies, the whole nine. They've killed, slaughtered. They have to live down that hill. So yes, I mean, if I was a white kid and I'm in school around a whole bunch of black people, you traumatized, you scared as hell because you don't know what to say. You say the wrong thing, you're gonna get beat up. You look at somebody the wrong, because the next generation already been brainwashed to think that I did something, where it's like, I'm just born into this. I didn't do anything. So it is, that's how it is.
No group that is more demonized.
Anton, look, that might be
a white man in America.
That might be true due to the political environment. However, we're not going to discount our ancestors, and we're not going to discount history here. We're not going to discount that. That's all I was saying.
We talking about you.
Ooh.
When have you ever been a slave?
Oh,
I have family members who were slaves years ago.
Listen. I don't know if you're hearing me. I didn't ask about your family.
It's always the light brown ones.
I said, when have you ever been a slave?
And I said earlier in the argument that I've never been a slave. I actually agreed with Carmen on that.
So you've never been a slave. You don't know anybody, and there's nobody living today that has actually enslaved somebody. But you're automatically saying that somebody is racist based off of how he's inferred or how he's communicated his points about being silenced.
I'm not saying he's automatically, because that would mean that that's a fact. My opinion of him is that he's possibly a racist. That is my opinion.
That's fine. That's fair, but that's my opinion of you also. So I guess we all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But the difference between Natural and that guy, if Natural is a racist, he can't do anything to anybody about being a racist. All you can do is say, I'm a racist. I
don't even believe that most people even know how to define racism. They take it to mean what they want it to mean, depending on how they apply.
I think
because even with the fact of being racist, most people cannot inflict actual power or control over the other ethnic group. In racism, they don't have the power to. Whether you prejudice against somebody, that's one thing, but to actually try and control a group, most people don't have the power to control a group. So that's why the definition of racist is thrown around very loosely, to where just because somebody looking at me kind of funny because I feel like, they think I'm black or something, that's not just being racist. That could be a whole nother other fact, a whole large amount of other factors that now I have to process and think internalize and think that, oh man, they're thinking this, they're thinking that, when it's just me thinking it. Because I'm around white people all the time. I carry myself with a certain amount of character in class the way I don't even care about the little small nuances of, they think I'm this or they think I'm that. If you carry yourself a certain type of way, people will treat you as such.
I don't know what racism is, but I think racism is a structure that that has power over people because of their color.
If we can't even define what racism is and collectively agree on it, how can we call somebody a racist?
That is true.
Can I just point out one thing? I noticed we adopted the Black community as like the op, but we do know you can be racist towards other groups that are not Black. Like, for example, Einstein, allegedly, I'm not too sure about this.
Okay, so
was racist. And there was a Black person that said, well, no, he wasn't, because he helped Black people during some time when he was alive. But they said that he was racist towards the Chinese, which I did verify. So it's just like, why did we just pick up the Black community out of any other community?
And then not all white people were given privilege to even be racist back then. There were poor whites and then there were rich whites. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the definition
to truly be racist, the way you can actually inflict power and control on someone, you have to probably have resources. All white people don't have resources. I know plenty of poor white people. They cool as hell. And they live in the same struggles as the Blacks. So what are we talking about?
Of racism.
I just looked it up too, Shampoo.
Racism is a prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution. Black people ain't got no institution, so they can't be no.
I got one better, Shampoo. I got one better. There are multiple definitions of racism.
Against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
So okay. So I'll
white people. Wait, let me just say this real quick. So if nobody in the world can tell me that white people are marginalized. I mean, they could say it because maybe they got a little wet in the rain and they never got rained on. I get that. They getting a little pressure right now because of certain things and, certain things that's happening politically and all that. But they have nothing. I talk to white people. They don't have nothing to worry about. And they're not worried about it. It's just him. He's in the middle. So he's closer to us. So he's, you know what I'm saying? He in his pickup truck and he used to have it all in the steel mines.
I don't know what Shampoo talking about, because on a large majority of white people and Black people are very much integrated into society together. So we live in a lot of the same experiences and whatnot. So a white person is going to constantly probably have to deal with Black people at one point in time, same as Blacks with whites. So the feeling is always going to be there if you have those preconceived thoughts about someone. So I don't understand exactly what he's talking about to say that white people don't ever feel it or Black people don't ever feel it or whatnot. No, they'll always feel it.
And he's losing that to these Hispanics and he's in a pinch. But people that got money like Donald Trump and these billionaires, they ain't worried about no Black people keeping them silent.
What are you? Wait. We just literally witnessed a former president of the United States of America, and they tried to take everything. They leveraged other Black people like Letitia James, like Fonnie Willis up in New York and over in Fulton County, Georgia, to literally file charges and try and turn this guy into a felon, tried to take his resources, destroy his family, all in a span of about 3.5 years. They tried to remove him from the ballot. If that's not power, I don't know what is. You're talking about a mayor.
Wait. Go ahead.
We talking about a mayor of Atlanta and a prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, that met with the vice president of the United States of America, and all of this is on record because all of it is public information, before they filed charges in Fulton County, Georgia. And if it wasn't for the YSL trial in which they exposed her for having an affair, who knows how far they took this? If it wasn't for great lawyers for exposing exactly how corrupt these people are, then how can you sit here and tell me that there is no situation in which a white man, and we're talking about a former president and a billionaire, who is being taken down by political opponents who just so happen to be Black, while at the same time advocating for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and being sued for hundreds of millions of dollars? You're gonna sit here and try to sell me on the idea that white people have an immense amount of power over anybody in the United States of America, especially considering that we have people and institutions that are letting in more foreigners over the last 5 years than any other time in history. Yep. And y'all telling me that real racism is white people?
Say that.
against black people or people of color?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I will refute something that you just said. The fact is that there's white people at the top of the Democratic Party that are his political enemies as well, Anton. Don't just act like there's black people. The black people are pretty much pawns when it comes to the Democratic Party. And you know this. It's on your show all the time.
What I'm saying.
I'm gonna end it right here, y'all, because it's gonna just be a back and forth. Natural doesn't understand exactly he don't understand the position that he's taking in the whole argument in the situation. It's always gonna be a point to finger blame game. Bro, you always gonna be able to vibe with your tribe. I'm just gonna be honest. And to say that it's always gonna be white people that's trying to take you down, a lot of white people are trying to live their lives. You gotta think about it. They live in experiences just like you live in an experience. See, sometimes we get so stuck in our experience that we can't even sympathize with others' experiences, or to even sympathize how others view things, or how they grew up, or how they live, and how they just, internalize things. But we think it's always about us because of I don't know if it's insecurity, the blame game. I don't like to play that game. I used to do it at one point. I told you I was very pro-black at one point. So I used to play that whole victim, blame, point the finger, condemn people. I used to do it heavy. But I'm glad I got out of that. Because everybody ain't always racist, man. Some people just having a bad day and they just don't want to talk to you. They don't want to say anything. That doesn't mean that person wants to, has ill will towards me. The only thing that we can start doing is practicing good habits to change our community or change ourselves. That's what it's going to boil down to. If we don't look back into self to try and fix us, family, community, there is nothing else. We will destroy ourselves at that point. Most people are going to be selfish. That's going to be problematic. And I think that's one thing we can take from some of these other cultures is that where the selfish part is not as much as a factor a lot of the times as it is in the black community. And I'm not just talking about white people. We got to look at all ethnicity groups on the way how they work with each other a lot of the time. The ego's off the table. It's more about just duty. And I think that's for us it's almost like a disease sometimes. So we definitely got a lot of fixing we got to do, man. But the way how they kind of internalize that about that video is crazy to me. I'm gonna have this link in the description. Y'all can watch it in its entirety. Y'all like the video, comment below. This is JayBReacts, y'all. Until next time, peace.